Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Judy Ann Kellaway. I'm the Associate Dean for Admissions and Outreach and a professor of ophthalmology here at the Long School of Medicine in San Antonio. I'm very excited to spend a few minutes with you on a topic that I feel is often overlooked, but incredibly important, and that is professionalism. I've been advising pre-med students for a long, long time, decades even, you may know. And this is something that comes up all the time on our side, your advisors, your teachers, your mentors. But I don't know that pre-meds talk about it enough. And I'd like to change that and let's start a conversation. So let's talk about why professionalism is so important. This requires a momentary look back in time. Don't worry, it's history, but it's kind of interesting. So, and you should know this, in the late 1800s, the fields of medicine, law, and engineering, they were growing, they were expanding. And as they grew, those people thought, um, they would like to be distinguished. They sought to distinguish themselves from tradespeople. And so there was an effort to develop standards, codes of ethic, codes of conduct, and specialized education. So as is, this was the first time that professionalism, the term was sort of coined and people started to know what this meant. And actually, with the birth of the American Medical Association back at that time, mid 1800s to late 1800s, they were a big driver of this. So anyway, as the concept expanded, professions sought to create a distinct identity marked by a commitment to their ethical standards and specialized knowledge and service to society. The term professionalism was increasingly used to describe the behaviors, the standards, and the values expected of those people in those specialized fields. So being a professional meant, this is important, that society, people had expectations of you. Very, very important, right? Expectations and knowing what those expectations are. In many circumstances, that is very important. But now we're talking about what's expected of us as professionals. So professionalism was seen as a means of ensuring public trust in these specialized fields like medicine, where practitioners were expected to prioritize the welfare of their clients or patients over personal gain. I hope that that's ringing a bell for you. Over time, professionalism has evolved to encompass so much more, including ethical conduct, accountability, and a commitment to continuous improvement, not just the technical competence of the work that we do. So now professionalism is a fundamental element of how we in these professions are defined and how we operate in society. Society, again, has expectations of us, and we need to take that seriously and meet those expectations to the very best of our um, ability. So not everyone wants to take this on, right? This is a big responsibility, a big role, something big to keep in mind as you're um, learning this profession and taking care of people. Not everyone is willing or able to make this commitment. So if you're listening to this, I think you're taking on this challenge. You want to have a specialized education. You embrace the ethical standards. You are ready to meet the expectations of society and your fellow humans in the world. You want to commit to the welfare of your future patients. You're already committed to the welfare of others. We see that in your journeys, right? So this professionalism in all capital letters, this is your why, something to live by, something to keep you going when the going gets tough, something to give you that moral and ethical compass, right? With which you'll function to the best of your ability. As I said in the beginning, I'm not sure you think about this much, but you should. Professional, Professionalism is definitely something that you can grow. It is not always automatic or intuitive, and there will absolutely be situations where you're unsure of the best course of action. So you should know and remember that these are the professional standards in the field. Admissions committees want to see that you understand what these expectations are for you in joining the profession. We want and need to see that you're demonstrating these characteristics of professionalism now, as well as in the future in your education. You know, your when you get to the medical education part of your journey. As your advisors, mentors, and admissions officers and committee members, we absolutely see a spectrum of professional behaviors. Absolutely. Unfortunately, we do sometimes discuss breaches of professionalism that we observe. And trust me, you don't want to be the topic of that conversation. So I hope that you'll think reflectively about this and who you are as a professional person, the many aspects of professionalism, how you embody those aspects of professionalism, and maybe some areas where you can improve or grow, just like you grow academically, right? From high school work, high school science, maybe that got you turned on to medicine, or got you thinking about that. Just like compare that to your freshman and sophomore years, or if you've reached this point, think about that academic growth that you've made from high school to freshman and sophomore year to now junior and senior year. It's a lot of growth. Just like you grow academically, just like you plan, you have study plans and other, you execute plans for your experiences to enhance your application and that part of your journey, you should be proactive in developing your professionalism. Think about the characteristics that we're talking about and assess yourself. It's like back to that personal growth plan thing, right? So think of the things that you could improve, find creative ways to grow, set goals, professionalism goals, and track them like everything else you're doing. And I think I think you'll feel that growth, and I think you'll find great satisfaction seeing your progress in this realm. It's your professional identity. It's a huge and hugely important part of your future in medicine. I'm going to dive into a few specifics. There are countless qualities that define a professional, so let's talk about a few. Ethics. Your ethical compass should guide every action, guide all of your actions from academic honesty to patient care. Upholding integrity it's non-negotiable. Um, think about your ethical responsibility. We'll talk about some specifics in another video, professionalism part two, but think about what your signature means. I don't know if your signature means very much to you right now. You know, when you buy a house, when you get a loan, that you start to realize the value, um, the depth of meaning in your name on a piece of paper. Now start thinking about it in an ethical way. Anyway, on to the next one, communication. Oh my gosh, so important. There's so much in this one. Effective communication is crucial, just crucial. This includes not only how you speak, how you write emails, how you craft essays, and even how you listen, how you're the receiver of communication. Um, so clear, respectful, and compassionate communication can make all the difference. Respect, another one that is so important. Treat everyone, patients, peers, professors, strangers, and friends. Treat everyone with respect. This includes people who hold this is important for me to say. I think it's an important thing for you to know and to demonstrate. This includes respect for people who hold different views than your own, or people who are not like you. We've talked about why that is so important, and I think you know, and we can have a discussion about it if you like. Next up on the list is compassion. Compassion is at the heart of healthcare. It's at the heart of all um, the professionals in medicine, physicians I'm speaking of right now, particularly. It's not just about treating the illness, but caring for the person. So cultivate kindness, grow kindness in yourself. I think maybe this is an easy one for you right now. Next is accountability. Take responsibility for your actions and decisions. This means that being reliable, following through on commitments, owning up to mistakes when they happen, own it. We're all human. We all make a million little mistakes and we also make the big ones. So own it. Some of the best lessons that we can learn are those that we learn from our mistakes, small and large. So we don't want to face those errors sometimes, but we must, and it'll help you grow. There are some aspects of professionalism that directly pertain to your life currently or recently maybe, as a student. You should be an expert of these when the professor is in the room and ready to begin. Do you ready yourself? Do you present a good role model then for others to stop the conversation and quiet yourselves and be ready to engage in the learning environment? When in that learning environment, do you focus and engage in that learning material, putting aside social media? Is your laptop open to the learning activity and those resources or social media, right? Are you a respectful collaborator? There's a lot to this. Are you a respectful collaborator on a team project? The next one is classroom etiquette, punctuality, participation, collaboration are all key. Show respect for your peers and your professors in these um, learning experiences. Collaboration and group work. Be a team player. Contribute, listen, help each other, respect different perspectives, different ideas when collaborating. Handling conflict, I think, is difficult for a lot of people, young and more mature. And I think that experience helps us know better and better ways to deal with handling conflict. Disagreements will happen. Sometimes I think, take things personally. Anyway, try to handle things in a mature and professional way with a focus on resolution rather than escalating or getting your point across, being self-centered. Try to look at yourself um, as a member of many, a group. Lots of things to think about here, right? So interesting. I hope it's kind of making you think of some ideas you could take farther. Responsibility and time management. So, boy, this is a big one too. Do you balance your workload? Do you meet deadlines? Do you manage your time effectively? We could go into that quite a lot. Social media professionalism, so very important to demonstrate your professionalism on social media. Everyone is watching. You know that medical schools everywhere don't have enough people to look up every applicant, right? But sometimes people on the committee get curious and will try to find people. Anyway, it's there for everyone to see. So be careful about that. Are there some perfect professionals out there? I don't think so. We're all imperfect. We all have some things that we could make better. But doing a realistic self-assessment and working on weaknesses is a great way to prepare yourself very well for the future, where you will join the profession of medicine. I really hope you'll take advantage of some of these pieces of information and advice and look at your professional identity with a renewed perspective. It is so important. Doesn't happen automatically as you grow, right? It's very important. And growing your personal identity doesn't just make you a better physician, a better healthcare provider. It makes you a better person. Okay. So there'll be a part two, maybe even a part three, where you're invited to participate in the conversation. Now, I think would be kind of fun. Thank you for spending this time with me on this important topic. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to the next time our paths cross, and I wish you all the best. See you next time. All righty. Bye-bye.